G'day my fellow media collectors, I'm Troy and today I am looking at a TV pilot that ended up failing so bad that its failures helped create what was to be one of the biggest superhero TV shows of the 70s. Of course, I'm talking about the Wonder Woman TV series from 1975, starring the gorgeous Lynda Carter. But what was the failed pilot that came before it? Well, that was none other than Wonder Woman is a made-for-television superhero film that was produced by Warner Brothers Television and aired on the ABC network on the 12th of March 1974. It was never picked up as a series, but instead was put into syndication as a standalone telefilm, where it played on independent TV stations throughout the 1970s and 80s. This DVD has a runtime of 75 minutes. It was only released on DVD on the 11th of December 2012. And it was distributed by Warner Brothers Home Video. The film follows Diana Prince, an Amazon who has chosen to leave her home of Paradise Island to become Wonder Woman and show the world the value of women. But Diana also has a secret identity as an assistant to government agent Stephen Trevor, who is pursuing a villain named Abner Smith, who has stolen a set of codebooks containing classified information about US government field agents and is looking to ransom them off for $15 million. Can Wonder Woman stop Smith's evil scheme and retrieve the secret codebooks before they are sold to the highest bidder? This movie's story was nothing more than a slow, boring espionage spy plot, instead of being a larger-than-life superhero epic adventure that you would expect from a Wonder Woman story. The plot has been reduced to a tedious, by-the-numbers spy thriller that takes itself way too seriously for what you're watching, with Wonder Woman being tasked with retrieving stolen government documents. Hardly the kind of exciting world-saving mission you would kind of hope for. The storyline drags on from one lifeless scene to the next, with little in the way of suspense, intrigue, or action to keep you engaged at all. The stakes feel laughably low for a character of Wonder Woman's stature being involved in this really low-level mission. She just can't help but look completely out of place in this story. This story is more of a interesting experiment than a successful adaptation, as it strips the Wonder Woman character of all her vibrant energy, charisma, and mythical superpowers that really define what makes Wonder Woman, well, Wonder Woman. For fans of spy thrillers, it's average at best. And for Wonder Woman enthusiasts, well, it's nothing more than a curious footnote in an attempt to bring this character to life on the small screen. And well, for that, I am going to give it a 5 out of 30. Look, so the movie does pull its source material from the comic books around the end of the 1960s under the guidance of Mike Wazowski, in which Wonder Woman surrenders her powers to open up a mod clothes boutique and end up in espionage-like adventures?
I'm sorry, I don't think I heard you correctly.
Which, from all accounts, was directly influenced by the British spy thriller The Avengers and Diana Rigg's portrayal of Emma Peel in the show. Why would you do that, you ask?
I don't know, but I bet you're going to tell me.
Well, the story goes that they were trying to steer clear of the campiness of the 66 Batman show and go down more a serious route with a spy thriller. Then more of a superhero epic. So how did that turn out for him?
Yeah, not great.
Now, the costume was a big departure from the classic version of the Wonder Woman costume in the comics. And look, let's face it, it had such a 70s feel and look to it that it almost looks like if it was very much inspired by what a female version of Evel Knievel would look like. Then throw in the fact that Crosby herself had blonde hair and not dark raven hair like the character is known for. This would have disappointed any fans tuning in to see this show and really only see this and not this. Now, the cast has a couple of familiar 70s character actors in there, but overall, no one of great note except for, I really guess, our two main stars. So first off is Kathy Lee Crosby as Diana Prince, aka Wonder Woman. Now, Crosby's interpretation lacks the presence, charisma and warmth that would come to define Lynda Carter's portrayal of the character when she was on TV.
I'm a Lynda Carter man myself.
She's restrained and almost too serious and always gets around with this goofy looking smile or smirk on her face. I mean, when there are times that the story needs building up to an intense scene, she's got this dumbass grin on her face which kills the atmosphere straight away.
You're killing the mood, darling.
Look, she would have to be the worst Wonder Woman we have ever seen.
Away, away, you vision of enchantment. You've got a job to do.
Okay, sorry. That was the worst one. But Crosby's, it's not far behind that one. Now, Ricardo Montalban as Abner Smith brings such a great seasoned actor known for his charm and gravitas. His presence alone elevates some of the scenes he is in, but his talents, I'm afraid, are largely wasted on a very one-dimensional villain who lacks any depth or complexity, which is a shame, as I do love me some Ricardo Montalban.
Cut, nothing else. Cut.
Anyway, with that, I will give this a 4 out of 20. So let's look at the disc and case. So as we look at the front, it's very basic in the sense that it's got a very 70s vibe to it. Nothing that I would call super special, but not much that you would expect from, say, these Warner Archive type sort of situations. So as we look at there's the spine, and then we'll look at the back. As I say, very basic, not a lot to it. I mean, it's aesthetically, it's not too bad. It all matches, but it's nothing special. And of course, if we look at the disc, it's just the cover as well. I'm sure there's not too many great promo shots that they could have pulled from anyway to put this together. Anyway, it is what it is. It's got a nice 70s vibe to it, and it looks colourful enough on your shelf, but it is basic nonetheless. So for that, I am probably going to just give this a 5 out of 10. So there are, as you can see, no special features on this disc at all. It's just the movie and that is it, which, let's face it, when it comes to these titles that are released on the Warner Archive releases, there's not going to be much on it but what the content is. So that's with no surprise at all, I suppose. So with nothing there, all I can give it is, you guessed it, a 0 out of 10. So as I bring up the Rotten Tomatoes scorecard, as you can see, the critics have come in at 0%, while the audience came in at 77%. So look, no critics, okay, expected. But what I was not expecting is a score of 77. I mean, seriously, How is it they are so high for this terrible pilot?
I was just asking myself that same question.
So I did some digging through the reviews and I think I found the problem. You have people giving it 3 and 4 stars out of 5, but then saying in their comments how ordinary the film was. It's like their score doesn't match their review. And funnily enough, there was a lot like that. This is so strange when it comes to a score-wise one, that's for sure. Anyway, seeing as we only have the audience score, we're gonna have to round it out to, I don't know who gets this, an 8 out of 10. Well, what can I say about this movie / pilot other than it was a waste of time? This movie was neither entertaining or interesting in any sense of the word to me. The plot is weak at best. The script is not much better. And the acting is basic 70s TV movie quality. I think for me, the biggest thing that they got wrong was, well, Wonder Woman herself. Crosby is such a bad choice for the role, having no resemblance to the original character and 0 charisma on screen.
Now that I will agree with.
Look, with this combination of the terrible suit and taking everything that makes Wonder Woman, well, Wonder Woman away, you end up having something that is about as polar opposite as you can get from the original. I could rip this movie apart from start to finish, but I don't have a couple of hours.
I don't got that kind of time.
But there were 2 things that stick out for me that I really want to mention. One, the god-awful fight scene between Wonder Woman and Angela. It's just terrible.
Because this is the worst thing I have ever seen.
And the anticlimactic ending where she just swims over to our villain and stops him in a rubber dinghy as he's going down this slow-moving river as he's trying to escape. Look, honestly, I wasn't expecting much, but there is nothing redeeming about this movie and nothing interesting for even the curious fan. Look, just save your time and watch the Wonder Woman TV series with Linda Carter. You will thank me, trust me.
Yes, I think you're right.
So with that, I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 20. Okay, availability is a 4 out of 5. It's old, but it's not common to find. The release has been out for a little while, but you're gonna have to do a little bit of searching to get a hold of it. And for collectability, this is a 1 out of 5. I mean, this one is for your die-hard Wonder Woman fans or your hardcore superhero collectors like myself. But for your average fan, yeah, I'd give this a miss. Now, as far as your average price goes, you are looking at somewhere between the $25 to $68 mark for DVD. So the price does vary a bit, so it does help to shop around for a good buy. Okay, let's tally up the scores. Now for the final score, we get a grand total of 24 out of 100. Ouch, that is down there with some of my worst reviews I have done, but totally deserved as well. Look, it is a massive misstep, but if it hadn't been for this, we would never have got the great, yes, Linda Carter version of Wonder Woman.
Hey, aren't you the guy who was stalking Linda Carter?
So, if you like this video and you want to see some more of my reviews, click that one. Oh, maybe you want to see some of my collection updates. Got you covered too. Click that one there. And of course, don't forget to do the 2 most important things. Throw me a like and don't forget to hit that subscription button. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time.